Hello, my name's Scott. I'm a professional magician and this is a magic review.
It's a kind of magic.
In today's review, we're looking at Murphy's Magic brand new Gypsy Thread that is UV, which is not quite the same as glow in the dark. We'll get into that. But my TLDR on Murphy's Magic UV Gypsy Thread is that it's a fantastic product. I love the quality of these. It comes with instructions. Basically, even if you already know the Gypsy Thread effect, you will probably benefit from this. But these are also fantastic for theatrical performances of the Gypsy Thread routine, otherwise known as the Hindu thread. And Murphy's Magic have created a package that includes everything you need. That's my TLDR on Murphy's Magic Gypsy Thread. What is it? Well, the classic Gypsy Thread routine is taking a long piece of what appears to be sewing thread, breaking it into smaller pieces, and then restoring it very cleanly in front of your audience's eyes. That's what it is, and that's what you get with the routine, with the addition of having the threads as UV threads, which, as I said in my TLDR, I think this is brilliant for theatrical performances. But if you were unfamiliar, that is what the effect is. It's a very clean and classic torn and restored thread. What do you get when you buy it? Well, I have here the green and the yellow versions of the thread, which I'll show you close-ups of. And each one of these threads, each spool is about 300 feet of thread. And in addition to that, you get roughly 45 minutes of downloadable tutorials. And this is split into about 7 different magicians. I've been performing the Gypsy Thread for a really long time, but I did learn a few things from those instructions. There are a few really good tips for even seasoned magicians. So I do recommend picking up one of these, not just for the benefit of having really bright UV thread, but also to touch up on your technique and get some tips and things. Some of the instructions are very outdated. And when I say that, I mean culturally, socially, there are some very inappropriate jokes, and I think watching some of the explanations on the instructions shows you how far we've come as magicians, as a community, because some of the performances are pretty bad.
I went to one of these health farms, and to build up the strength. And there was a girl there in the reception, I must say. The first thing she said to me was, "Mr. Reed, you look effeminate." Next to her, I did. And she was a big ugly lady. Very forward for her, I tell you. She said, "Do you want to spend the night with me?" I said, "I've only got £1." She said, "I've got change."
But that's what you get when you purchase just the thread. If you purchase the other package that Murphy's Magic are selling, which is about £26, you also receive a UV light. So if you're just purchasing this, just a spool of thread, which is about £14, $15, something like that, you do also receive the 45 minutes of instructions just with the thread. They don't really make that quite clear. It looks like you have to buy the bigger, more expensive package if you want to have the instructions. But that's what you receive when purchasing both options. I just want to interrupt this review for a second. If you find my reviews helpful and if they help you make a purchase or decide not to purchase and save you money, please do support this channel. The more support this channel gets, the more subscribers we get, the more people who interact with the channel, the more reviews I'm going to be able to do, and the more I'm going to be able to help you. I'm trying to do these reviews to help the magic community and help people like you, because there are a lot of reviewers who talk absolute nonsense. So if you do enjoy this channel and you do find my content useful, then please do share, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate everything everyone does for this channel. Back to the review. How easy is it to perform? It's really easy. And also, this is a classic of magic. Everyone should probably learn this at some point. It's not a card trick, it's not a coin trick, it's something a little bit different. And it's been performed for a really long time, probably hundreds of years at this point, maybe longer. I'm no historian, but it has been around such a long time. And there's a reason why people still perform it today, because it's a simple, elegant, lovely magic trick, and it's easy to do. If you can just add a nice little story to this, I think it's great. Anywhere from performing for children to adults to a theatrical show, as I said, with the element of the UV light. And the fact that it's so easy to perform is just cherry on the cake. Reset time takes a few minutes, or a couple of minutes, I would say maybe. You have to do something with the thread. It's very easy to do, and as I say, it's pretty quick to do it. You could have multiple spools set up ready to go, but probably you're only going to perform this once at a time anyway. But the setup is pretty short overall, and it's also a very simple, very easy process to set up, and not something that's going to give you a headache like other more invisible kinds of threads. The angles are also incredible. I think that's one of the reasons why this has been performed for such a long time by so many thousands of magicians, because you can perform this completely surrounded, and it's so fair, and it's done at the fingertips, and your hands are open and your palms are open, and at the end you're just left with a thread. It's so good in terms of angles. So whether you're a street performer, or whether you're a close-up magician, or even if you're on stage, of course, if you're on stage, you would want to be having a screen projected. But I think that's where these UV threads really come in handy, because I think that just with some UV light in front of you, so you're darkened and you're in the shadows, but just your hands are in the UV light, you could definitely perform this on stage, a big stage, and people would see it because of the UV nature of the threads. So I think that's so good, and something that's not really been available to us as magicians before. But this is the angle section, and the angles are fantastic. You can't ask for better. Pocket space is also really good. It's just a spool of thread. You do have to carry a spool like this, or you can take some and put it on a smaller spool. But the way the routine works, if you're not familiar with it, is that you will take a thread off of the spool like this, and then you'll rip it, and then you'll start to rip it into smaller pieces. So in doing that, you're setting yourself up for the trick. So all you have to carry is this little spool of thread, which I think is pretty good with the bang that you get for your buck in terms of pocket space that it's going to occupy. My final thoughts on this, like I said, I really like this. I think it's a great product. It gives us as magicians more options. I think that the UV idea is brilliant for theatrical performances, for theaters, for stages. The only thing I will say is that the thread is roughly £15, £14.99, something like that. And as I said before, it's not clear that these individual threads also come with the instructions. But the full package with thread and a UV light is £26.99. And I think in the trailer, there's a lot of UV light, but they only include a little pocket UV light. And of course, this is to keep costs down. So that pocket UV light that you receive in a £26 package on Amazon is like £6-7. I bought this one, which is a bit bigger. It has, I think, 126 LED lights. So this is not what you receive if you buy the £26 package, but this is a bit more expensive. So this is about £15-16 itself. So I think cost-wise it's pretty good. But I also think it's really important that if you want a UV light that is bigger than the little pocket UV light that they give you in the £26 package, then you should go for the cheaper option and just get the spools of thread. Then you can go and purchase the UV light or UV lamp if you want a larger one that suits your performance style. And I think that's everything I have to say on Murphy's Magic UV Gypsy Thread. I think it's a great product. I think this will probably become a staple. I hope that they continue to sell these for a long time. Also, I have the green and yellow, but it does come in a fluorescent pink and also a hot orange or sunset orange. Go have a look at your favorite dealer if you want to see the different colors. But that's the review for today. I hope you found it insightful and the review helped you decide whether to purchase it, whether to purchase just the thread, or whether to purchase the full package. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.